Hey guys, so I tell it like it is. The NFL is a completely rigged and scripted joke. I already know when Carson Palmer is coming back. All you had to do was spend 5 minutes of doing gematria to see how truly rigged and how truly scripted this whole league, the NFL, is. If you're new to my work, sports are rigged and scripted through the practice of coding letters and words into numbers. Gematria is what it's called, and numerology. I predicted the Dodgers beat the Astros long before the World Series ever occurred. I broke down the flood ritual with that. I called Warriors over Cavs. I called the Cavs over the Warriors. I guaranteed Cleveland would come back from 3-1 against Golden State. I predicted the Warriors to come back from 3-1 against the Thunder. I've been right on the money many times. The Cubs came back 3-1 as I guaranteed against the Cleveland Indians. Your sports are rigged by the numbers. It is all one big numbers game for the gang. The injury that Carson Palmer sustained on October the 22nd, the amount of time between October the 22nd and Christmas Eve, December the 24th, that is the day that Carson Palmer is going to return against the New York Giants on Christmas Eve. The amount of time between October the 22nd, the day that Carson Palmer suffered his injury, till December the 24th, Christmas Eve, is a time span of 64 days. And the Cardinals are playing the New York Giants on Christmas Eve. It is no coincidence that there are 64 days from the day that Palmer got injured to his scripted return on Christmas Eve. In gematria, to practice coding letters and words into numbers, New York Giants in gematria equals 64. This 64-day duration from the injury to Christmas Eve is very significant. The Cardinals have a Jesuit logo, very symbolic logo to the Jesuits. The Pope's ordained bishops are the College of Cardinals that wear the same shade of red that Arizona wears. It is the gang of Zionists that rig and script sports. I just think about the announcer too for that game, for the Arizona's LA game. The announcer was named Sam Rosen, Rosen. No doubt it was a special tribute to the higher-ups, the Zionists and the Freemasons that rig and script the NFL by the numbers. Israel Zion Synagogue of Satan equals 64. It's interesting that Carson Palmer has played 62 total games for the Arizona Cardinals, including the playoffs, before this injury. Arians in gematria equals 62. The date numerology of the NFC Championship game, January the 21st of 2018, also adds up to 60. He has played 60 regular season games as an Arizona Cardinal. And long and behold, Carson Palmer's stats right now. Carson Palmer has 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That is a lot like the Arizona Cardinals record when they last reached the Super Bowl. Also a tribute to Larry Fitzgerald as well for the NFL season this year that began on September the 7th. Larry Darnell Fitzgerald Jr. in gematria equals 97. I'm predicting Arizona to win the NFC West at 9-7. 3 wins in the playoffs under this scenario would give them 12 wins and 7 losses, a lot like Minneapolis, equaling 127. Saturn is the gatekeeper of time. The Freemasons are the true holders of secret knowledge that they know that's going to happen eventually over the course of time. Carson Palmer could win his 93rd game, regular season game on Christmas Eve. It's interesting that Saturn equals 93. The fact that Carson Palmer has 53 wins at home. Arizona's playing New York on Christmas Eve. Comeback equals 53. His total win total at 53 is very significant. He can win his 54th game on Christmas Eve, right? A key day for Catholics and Jesuits. Jesuit order in gematria equals 54. A fitting game to win on Christmas Eve for Arizona. It has to do with the Jesuit symbolic connections. Carson Palmer would return against the New York Giants, but Drew Stanton's first start with Arizona actually occurred, believe it or not, at the New York Giants on September the 14th. That was the day that Drew Stanton made his first start with the Arizona Cardinals. And the Arizona Cardinals started off the season red hot that year. They had a 9-1 record entering the Seattle game that year. It's interesting that the time duration from the injury to December the 4th is a time span of 9 weeks and 1 day. That was the Cardinals' record in 2014 when they had Carson Palmer and Drew Stanton, a direct connection with the 2014 season in the fact that Stanton's first start once again was against the New York Giants, and Arizona did in fact win that game that year. What's also really fitting, 103 days from Drew Stanton's first start with the Arizona Cardinals to December the 24th, 14 weeks and 4 days, a lot like Jesuit Order and Mark of the Beast, equaling 144. The amount of time from the day of Drew Stanton's first start with Arizona to Christmas, time span of 103 days. Once again, quarterback whisperer 103, Stanton 103. The Cardinals are a Jesuit team. Cardinal equals 35, Bidwell equals 35, Catholic equals 35. 35 days from the Pope's birthday, the conference championship week. The Super Bowl is being played on the 35th day of the year. Scrolling down here on Carson Palmer's miscellaneous splits. Also, Drew Stanton wears number 5. This is Bruce Arians' 5th season with the Arizona Cardinals. Part of this quarterback whisperer storyline this year. I already broke that down by the numbers, by the way. Okay, I don't know why this is zooming in, but I'll just disregard that part. It's interesting that return equals 33 and 39. The fact that Arizona and gematria equals 39, or the fact that New York and gematria equals 39. New York, as you see, also equals 39 and 33. I believe the Giants have 33 total wins against the Arizona Cardinals. As you see, return in gematria also equals 33 and 39. He would return against New York. New York in gematria equals 39 as well. Also, the gematria data, we can see what Christmas Eve equals, the day of this return. It's interesting that Christmas equals 38 and 110. Minnesota equals 110 and 38, the side of the Super Bowl. Christmas Eve in gematria equals 52, by the way. That's when Carson Palmer is going to return. This is a year of Super Bowl 52. Christmas Eve is going to be a direct tribute for this upcoming Super Bowl, the day that number 3, Carson Palmer, returns, the key to winning this Super Bowl. Arizona's going to finish the year at 9-7. They're going to have tiebreakers against the division. That's where they're going to win their games over the course of this season. Before Carson Palmer returns, Arizona is going to lose one more game. The game that I see them losing is the game at the Washington Redskins, December the 17th it is. I see them compiling a huge streak of wins before they eventually lose against the Washington Redskins, in my opinion. My touchscreen is a little bit shaky right now, but this is all I have to say. Carson Palmer makes his return on Christmas Eve. The other video, definitely, we have to break down David Johnson's return, probably looking like he may return against the Rams. That's the next part of the equation to see when he makes his return. We have returns for David Johnson, Carson Palmer, and Mike Upati. You can see what all of their jersey numbers equal. I think David Johnson's number 24. No, he's 31. David Johnson's 31. We have David Johnson and Carson Palmer, 34, 76. Mike Upati, best run blocker. All these values add up to 110. These three key starters on offense, offensive line, quarterback, running back, all these add up to 110. Minnesota equals 110. So enjoy the scripted action. The quarterback whisperer. It's just a key storyline for this season. Arizona has to win in underdog fashion. I'm right on the money. My Pittsburgh Steelers pick, and I've correctly broken down where the script is heading to for this season. And Arizona is going to surprise people with Drew Stanton once again. And these starters, Larry Fitzgerald, Carson Palmer, and Adrian Peterson, are going to give their all once they return just in time for the postseason when it truly matters the most.